Alright guys, welcome back to All Things Outdoors. Today we're out here in the woods, and today we're going to be checking out some of the native plants around here. So yeah, please be sure to watch this video till the end, and also please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Be sure to put that down in the comments below, seeing that you did that, for a shout out. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Yeah, so we're out here in the woods around near my house, and love the woods here. Beautiful, lovely. Look at this nice view of the creek. This is Black Walnut Creek, actually, same creek. Black Walnut. Oh, my autumn olive isn't doing so well. Yeah, some bozo went and they knocked it over and they broke it, and it's not doing as well. I do see some new leaves coming out, so I think it may make it, but I don't know. We'll have to keep close tabs. But it looks like we got a new shoot coming out, new water sprout basically, and it's really growing fast. But it's going to take a long time to reboot and get back to the way it was when I planted this whole thing. I may transplant a new one, so stay tuned. So I may do a video on how to transplant bushes, how to transplant established shrubs. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyway, we're gonna head up this way and we are gonna identify some plants. So yeah, we're gonna keep on. So now we're out here in a different part of the forest. And we are out here, and there are these plants that I'm gonna show you guys. They're really cool. There's some right here. We're gonna try and find a better clump. So here's some nice ones right here. So these are ghost pipes. So these are a plant native to North America, South America, and Asia. Basically most of North America, like Canada and the US. And they're native to South America and Asia. And they commonly grow in forests. We'll show you them. We're going to find a different group, but first we're going to show you older ones, but these are kind of already finished growing. I'm going to show you ones that are getting ready to make seeds, which are right here. So we have some good ones. Okay, so these are the ghost pipe, also known as the Indian pipe or the ghost plant. Here's a nice one, pretty nice one, and they are called the ghost pipe because of their white color, which is pretty interesting. You may be thinking, why aren't they green? And we'll tell you. So you know how most plants are green, right? Yeah. Most plants are green, and they have a nice green color. They're green, and they have nice leaves and all that kind of stuff, you know. And you're thinking, well, why don't these have leaves or anything like that? Well, that's because they don't grow the same way other plants do. Most plants use a process called photosynthesis, which they use energy from the sun and carbon dioxide from the air and water, which they get from the ground, and basically minerals and nutrients and all that stuff that they take up through their roots, and they use that to help themselves grow. The ghost pipe is actually a parasite. So the ghost pipe grows by taking nutrients from other trees' roots, from a fungus that helps the trees extract nutrients and water from the soil. It's a type of fungus that helps trees do that more efficiently, called mycorrhizal fungi, and that's basically kind of helps the trees take up nutrients. And oh, look at that, there's an ant eating a cicada. Pretty cool. I feel bad for the cicada though. Anyway, so yeah, and these ghost pipes tap into the plant's nutrients and water and all that stuff by using the mycorrhizal fungi to get into there. It's pretty cool. And then they grow up. Oh, the ant. I don't want the ant on me. I'm gonna move this way. So the mycorrhizal fungi, the ghost pipes take the nutrients through that from the tree, and that's how they grow. And they bloom, and they usually, when they're younger, they have kind of a nice droop to them, kind of like this. But they don't have that when they're older. these do, and these are a parasite, and these are considered rare. So if you find them in your yard or in the woods or whatever, don't remove them. They are good if you live in an area where they're native. And I don't really think there are really any of them outside of their native range because people don't really plant these. Most people would probably think these are ugly, but I think they're really cool. They don't really look that amazing right now, but when they're bigger, when they're younger, they look a lot cooler. If we have a second round of them come up, we'll show you because they're really cool. I was gonna show you them another time earlier, but I just couldn't get around to it. But here we actually have a new ghost pipes coming up right in there. So we will show you those when they come up. So stay tuned. And yeah, these right now, these ones are getting ready to make seeds. Yeah, they're so cool looking. Because they don't have any leaves or anything. They just use trees' nutrients to grow. Just come out of the ground and they look ghostly. They look like they're from another planet. They're like alien plants. Pretty cool, aren't they? And these are considered rare. So if you find these, don't remove them. Anyway, we're gonna move on and find some other plants to show you guys. So yeah, we'll get on to that and we will see you very soon. Here's some more ghost pipes. Just found these on the way. Look at this. Here's a new one. Isn't that a lot cooler looking? It's getting ready to, oh, it's blooming right now actually. That's cool. Pretty cool, isn't it? Really looks like a ghost. Well, not like a ghost, but it looks ghostly. It looks like it's from another planet. Like if we stand the camera down here like this, doesn't it look like it's like an alien forest? It's really cool. The alien forest. Like, we're gonna actually, you know, we're gonna turn around because we're gonna show you how much they look like an alien forest. If we find a bigger group, they will definitely look like an alien forest. Oh, here we go. Look at this big group of them. Big cluster. Does that not look like an alien forest? It's like the alien forest. Pretty cool. Yeah, we're gonna go on down this way to show you some of the fruits, native fruit trees around here. All right, so now we're over here in the area with fruit trees and fruit bushes. We got huckleberries and low bush blueberries. Unfortunately, none of the low bush blueberries are making berries right now. So unfortunately, we can't try any of their fruits, any blueberries from low bush blueberries that are here. Oh, look at that, a huckleberry. I don't think those are ripe yet. Yeah, those aren't ripe yet. They're still green. I believe they turn a different color. Most fruits turn a different color when they're ripe. And they've been green for a while, so I think they're not ripe yet. Been green since they started growing. Here we have some blueberries, high bush variety. I don't see any ripe ones yet. We're gonna continue looking. Oh, look at that, it's a blueberry. Looks pretty good. Let's try it out. They taste better than the ones that you get at the store. They're a lot smaller though. Probably because these ones aren't pumped full of chemicals to make them bigger. Most of the time in the store, unfortunately, they do pump your fruit full of chemicals to make everything bigger. A lot of people think that if it's bigger, then it's better, but honestly, smaller fruits are better because fruits don't naturally grow huge unless they're like a naturally large fruit type. We're gonna try and pick this blueberry. Oh, that's not ripe yet. Yeah. They aren't all ripe on this bush, unfortunately. Kind of stinks. I was hoping for completely ripe berries, but oh well. You know, things don't always go the way you want them to, I guess. That rings true for everything, even fruit. Yeah, this one doesn't even really have any berries. Probably, I see remnants of berries. So that means that, they, probably already eaten. Because other animals love to eat the blueberries. Any kind, high bush, low bush, doesn't really matter. Birds will eat them. I don't know which one is preferred, if any of them are preferred, but I'm pretty sure I do know that the high bush make more berries than the low bush do, but that makes sense because high bush is a bigger bush. So they're gonna make more berries. But these are really small. I wish they were a little bigger. Ugh. It's hard to grab a top branch. Oh, I don't know if this one's ripe. Now let's see. Sorry about the wonky camera angles. Hope you didn't get dizzy from that. Yeah, oh, I see another, well, that one's not really ripe either, is it? Huh. Yeah, I guess it's not really full ripen season. It's not really full blueberry season yet. They're not in season yet. Huckleberries aren't either. Pretty excited for the huckleberries. Think they'll be good once they're ready. Don't eat them unless they're ripe, because unripe fruit doesn't taste good. Whoa, this bush is absolutely covered in blueberries. Look at them all. Look at that. That's lovely. Means we're gonna have a load of blueberries once this thing gets ripe. This branch is a non-active branch. I love the branch structure of these. It's very pretty. Nice layers and dense foliage. Make a nice privacy screen for your garden. And this could definitely make a nice bonsai. This already looks like a bonsai tree. Look at it. Does that not look like a bonsai tree? I think it does. Turn off all the dead branches. Got a briar on it, we'll cut that off. Yeah, if we take off all these, there were 3 dead branches just removed, so. And now it looks like a bonsai tree. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful. Bonsai with edible fruit. This would actually be a useful bonsai. Like, it would actually do stuff for you. Give you food. Take that briar off right now. Now it looks even more like a bonsai tree. It's a little tall for a bonsai, but it looks nice. We're gonna shrink it down a little bit, make it a little taller, or not taller, make it a little shorter. Definitely look like a bonsai. Look at all those berries. Here's a berry. That one looks ripe. Oh, it is ripe. Yay! Got a ripe berry. Makes a nice trailside snack. Some nice, whatever this tree is here. It's most likely a black gum. Yeah. Now we're gonna move on. We've been staying in the same spot for far too long. Gotta look for some new plants. The ghost pipes are pretty alien looking though. This thing needs some help. This is a nice high bush blueberry, but it needs some help. Kind of sparse looking, not very healthy looking. Doesn't have any berries. Being overtaken by these briars. We're probably gonna cut out almost all of the stems. We're probably only gonna leave 1 big stem, maybe 2. So we don't want to completely destroy it. We want to make it as big. We want to keep it as big as possible, but we want it to be healthy, because only healthy bushes will produce fruit. But the birds absolutely love the high bush blueberry. So if you're looking for something for your garden that will give you edible berries or edible fruits or whatever, and if you want something for birds and animals, definitely would suggest planting the high bush blueberry. This was a dead snag that we removed because it was not doing well, because it was a snag. It It was not doing well, but like, you know, it was dead. So he removed it to help the ecosystem, which it does. If you have dead snags and they're like on your property, feel free to remove, like if you have forest on your property like we do, feel free to remove any dead snags, because the dead snags just take up space where a new healthy tree can grow. And even if they're not dead, like if they're diseased or like they're dying or something's wrong with them, that's like a major problem that's gonna lead them to die, cause them to die or get diseased or whatever, feel free to remove them, help the forest out. Because if you remove all the unhealthy trees, then you leave room for strong, healthy trees. And everybody likes a healthy forest. I love the forest. One of my favorite ecosystems. Probably is my favorite ecosystem app, and the meadow would definitely be in second place because I love meadows. So pretty with all the flowers in the springtime and summertime. And even in the fall, if you have stuff like asters growing in there. Asters are a wide-ranging family of flowers and plants. Make flowers that usually bloom in the summer or fall. Some of them do bloom in the spring. Here we have a dead tree. That's too big. We're gonna let that rot and fall on its own. Pretty cool looking though. Looks like an alien. Looks like a. Makes it look spooky. Halloween, that'd make a good decoration. If you have a dead tree around Halloween time, keep it for decorations. Maybe put some spider webs on it, make it look like a witch's home for Halloween. Nice carpet grass here. This is invasive, non-native to our area, comes from Asia. You can tell what it is because it only grows to be about 1.5 feet tall at the tallest. And it's basically got these leaves that wrap around the stem, as you can see. And they got all these fine little hairs on the leaves, which I can feel. It feels like kind of it feels very soft feeling leaves. Don't know if you can see the hairs on camera. They don't really show up in person that much either. Oh, now you can probably see them. Yep, definitely see them. Very fuzzy looking. And this is an invasive species, but it's growing next to these ferns, so I don't want to damage the fern root system by removing it. We got another clump there. This one we can remove. Oh, soil's really hard, it won't come out. Well, if it's not gonna come out by itself when you pull it, it's gonna just stay there. Oh, here we have another very similar grass. I don't remember what it's called. I'm gonna go identify it real quick. This plant happens to be a black gum. So yeah. But now we're gonna show you some other plants. The plant we're gonna show you now is called poverty oak grass, and it's growing all up in here. We're gonna try and find a good clump to show you guys for the video because it's kind of hard to diagnose when growing near other clumping grasses because it also grows in a clump, like many of the native grasses. Because this is a native grass. Here we have a bunch of poverty oak grass right here. That's what the plant is called, poverty oak grass. Just gonna kind of come up around here. Here I see a bunch of poverty oak grass. Not the nicest of clumps, but here we see some, and I'm just gonna use it in the video anyway. So, as you can see, this is poverty oak grass. You can tell what it is. Very easy to recognize in the woods. Now, it's easier to recognize in kind of earlier in the season when it's not making seeds. As you can see, it's got these long strands which are making seeds. Oh, well, actually, very easy way to tell it is later in the season. So, even with these long strands that make it harder to see in all this new growth, you can see the old growth dies back, and when it does, it's hard to see in camera. Let's try and get it to focus. See that? The leaves all curl up. So this creates the leaves all curl up, and you can basically tell what it is by those curly dead leaves. See that? It's all up in here. Very curly dead leaves. Pretty cool, isn't it? Here we have a nice tuft of some other grass. It might be poverty oak grass. We'll identify it actually, because I got another grass that I'm going to show you. So yeah, let's identify that too. Alright, so now we're out here identifying some of the grasses. And this is long stalk sedge, grass native to eastern North America. And you can tell what it is because, like most other sedges, it grows in these nice clumps. It's a clumping grass, like basically all the other native grasses. And you can see it's kind of got this nice circular round clump. Got another clump over there. That was squat. Looks like it was stepped on by something, probably a deer. Or a fox, maybe. Maybe another human. People do walk back here in the woods, and I'm fine with it, because as long as they don't do anything, I think it's good that people are walking back here in the woods and exploring it. Yeah. But anyway, it's kind of got this, as you can see here, we have a nice clump, and it's got these nice blades basically, and it's kind of got this nice drooping. Once like the blades grow up and then they droop after a while, pretty long. But they don't really get this doesn't really get that tall. It's about as tall as it gets. Basically, its height that it has. It's not like a really tall grass. It's not like a Kentucky bluegrass or like those grasses grasses that grow in a meadow. Most of the grasses that grow in the woods are clumping grasses. So yeah, pretty cool. We're gonna head over here. Show you another plant. This might be, okay, so this is carpet grass, and it is a invasive species not native to our area. And you can tell what it is because it's kind of got these nice fuzzy leaves, and it's kind of, you might be able to see the hairs. It's not wanting to focus. But yeah, you can see it's fuzzy. And it's not native. Very bad plant. Here we might have deer tongue grass. Nope. Gonna walk up this way a little bit. Oh, here we have some. Just checking to see what it is. Gotta look at all the leaves because I want to know. Gotta show all the characteristics before I can actually tell what it is for sure. So now I do know that this is actually deer tongue grass. It's deer tongue grass, and this is native to the east coast of North America, basically all the eastern states. So like basically up the entire east coast region, and like even the inland side of the east coast is in there too. So basically eastern part of North America. A lot of our plants here. You can tell what it is because it's kind of got these. It's got these nice leaves, which are very similar to the carpet grass, but this is a native species, and it, like basically all the other grasses, it grows in clumps. What a surprise! Clumps. See, these clumps are closer together, so they're not as well defined, but these are growing in a nice clump. Here we got a clump. Here we got a clump. Got clumps everywhere. It's all clumps. And if we look under here, you can see clump there. There's the clump. Clump in there. Clump in there. Everywhere clumps. So yeah. And it's kind of got, if you look at it closely, you can see the leaves are kind of striped almost. And this plant is native, and birds are attracted to it because they like its seeds. It does pollinate itself. So it's a self-pollinator. Doesn't really need any insects to pollinate it or any other things like hummingbirds or bees or whatever, but it does use the wind to pollinate, and basically itself. It can pollinate other plants around it when pollen from this plant goes and runs into another plant that pollinates it. and then they make seeds, which the birds like to eat. And yeah, that's about it for the deer tongue grass. All right, so here we have another plant native to the eastern half of North America and up into Newfoundland, Canada, and west to Minnesota, Texas, and Oklahoma, and that basically the entire eastern half of North America. This is the Partridge Berry. So you've probably seen this plant before. You may have it in your garden, maybe thinking it's a weed. No, this is not a weed. Don't remove it if you think it's a weed. It's not a weed. Anything but a weed. It's a very lovely plant, in my opinion. You have lots of it over here, but we're going to try and find some of it. And this is a native. Once again, native. Not invasive. Well, I don't... Oh, look at this. So this makes a white flower. Look at that, conjoined berry. All right, so we're out here, and now we have another plant we're going to show you guys. Probably seen it before, right here. This is the Partridge Berry, and you've probably seen it before. You can tell what it is. It's got these nice leaves, and it's a very low-growing, evergreen, creeping plant. Oh, look, an inchworm. Cool. We're going to find a bigger area of the partridge berries. Probably seen these before. Okay, so here we got some good partridge berries. So you can tell what it is because it kind of looks like a vine, but this is a low-growing kind of creeping plant. See, and you can basically tell what it is because it's got these leaves which are kind of round. And they got, and they're green, kind of a darker green, and they have this line that runs right through the middle of them. Yeah, that's how you tell what it is. And you can also see in these bloom in the spring with a pretty white flower, and some people plant this in their garden as a ground cover. You can plant it. It's very pretty. It is a shade-loving plant, and it does make berries, which are possibly edible, but I'm not sure. They may be edible, but I don't know. Really, so don't eat them. But it is said that they are edible from the app that I originally found what these are from, and it said that they are edible, but they are tasteless. They don't really have much of a taste. But the birds absolutely love partridge berry, and it is great for pollinators and other birds. And these bloom in the spring with a white flower, and the flowers grow in pairs, and just like the leaves, which are parallel arranged on the stem. They're exact opposite of each other, as you can see on all the stems. Very nice. And they got 2 berries on the end of each one. And it's a pretty white flower. These are not blooming right now. But then in the summertime, they create a berry. And the berry ripens in the summer. And it turns a nice deep red. It's a nice scarlet red. It's very, very bright red. It's like almost like a Coke red. Like kind of that color. Or like Superman red. It's kind of that kind of color. And the birds love them. And you can definitely plant it as a ground cover if you're trying to create a woodland theme in your garden. So yeah, that's the partridge berry. Highly recommend this plant. Lovely native plant. And it is not really a weed. It does not really spread super quickly and easy to take care of. Doesn't really need much care. Likes the shade. So if you don't really have much sun, partridge berry is definitely an option. And it's all growing all up in here. Look at it. It's everywhere. Basically, a lot of these little plants here are partridge berries. Like, there's so much of it growing in this area. It's a lot of partridge berries. And I like it because partridge berries are cool. Everywhere. Lovely partridge berries. And yeah. Well, it's probably going to be about it for today's video. So, once again, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And be sure to put that down in the comments below saying that you did that for a shout out. And we will see you guys on the next adventure.